Alright. So, I'm watching a few things this morning, but haven't taken a trade on anything. NMVC has just been popping up as I was getting ready here, so I didn't get a trade on it through this $7 area here, which would have been real nice. But maybe we can try to take a trade on it now as it's coming up. Just hit 730. It just made a really big move, so I want to kind of see if it's going to hold here or if it's going to push up and then come back down. It's looked really strong this morning, so 30 seconds left on this 1 minute candle. We'll see if it holds above, pushes back up. Pulling back a little bit, but it looks like it's holding pretty close to this high. Fairly extended right now though, so kind of want to be a little bit more careful on this. It just made a $3 move here, 50% move. So maybe kind of give it a second to pull back a little bit, and then we'll take a trade on it the next time it comes up to the high here, as long as it still looks strong. Yeah, so just on the 5 minute, I guess we kind of expect a little bit of a 5 minute pullback here. It just popped up over it on this new 5 minute candle and then pulled back down. So we'll see what it does on the 1 minute here and make a determination on whether or not we want to take the trade on it sooner rather than later. I'd like it. I mean, it's very far off VWAP right now, so I'd like it to move down closer to VWAP if I'm going to take a trade. But I mean, sometimes these things are irrationally strong, so it's just going to go off without us here. Coming back up through $9. See what this next 1 minute candle does here. Yeah, it's a little bit choppy here. Dropped off, immediately got bought up, immediately is dropping again. So I want to be careful. If it wasn't so extended off the VWAP here, I'd consider taking a trade off of this ascending level of support. You can see now we got 3 bars in a row with higher bottoms on the 1 minute, but like I said, no, I didn't. What's going on, gentlemen? Yeah, dude, I was in the shower as it was doing that, so kind of unfortunate. But yeah, I guess like now that I've missed the entry on that, I'm probably gonna wait to see if I can get a 5 minute setup to get in on it, to see if it continues going up. I mean, it's looked obviously really strong today, increasing volume all the way through this push, and now decreasing volume in the consolidation. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I always I get up like earlier, but I always try to take my shower. Like I watch 7 o'clock to see if anything's popped off. And then like at 7:10, if like nothing is really going on, then I'll go take my shower. Because I wanna get that increased volume at 7 to see and like news coming out. But unfortunately, it's not working out for me today because at approximately 7:15, this thing just started going crazy again. So new 5 minute here. We'll see what this ends up doing. If it starts popping above 920 here, I might take a trade on it. But still, you know, even on the 5 minute, we're looking pretty extended still. Yeah. Yeah, on the 5 minute, we're still looking pretty extended, so might want to be a little bit careful here. It starts, yeah, it's pushing up here. I would take a trade with like very small share size, and then I'll add on if it continues moving higher. But I'd like to see it dip down a little bit, you know, maybe down to this like 850 region, or maybe down closer to 8. You get us closer to view up so we can get a good entry point for the next move up. Yeah, they got COVID-19 drug candidates. I feel like, you know, most of the moves that we see or that we've seen in the last like 6 months have been moving on COVID news. Pretty common. Yeah, it's going nuts. Kind of like replaced EV. EV was going wild for a while there too, but I feel like in recent times it's kind of settled down a little bit. Check Tesla out. I know I looked at Tesla yesterday and it was kind of trying to recover. Oh, yeah, made a decent move the last 2 days. So coming down from like a high of 900 Tesla was, and then dropped all the way down to low 600s, and now it's back up in the 700s, which is, I guess, good to see if you're into Tesla. Yeah, as far as other low floats that are moving this morning, I think GEG was like the next highest gapper, and it's made like such a strange move. You know, went from $4 to $20 in one single candle, and then has pulled back literally the entirety of it. Barely moved a little bit. So I don't really know what's going on with that one right now. Yeah, it might be good. I know AMC was holding up like much better than I thought it was going to. You know, it made a huge move up to 20, and now it's still holding, you know, just below 9, which is pretty nice. Um, so, down with that. I'm always afraid of holding stuff into earnings, though. You know, even if it's like, even if it's like you're positive that it's gonna go well, it's just there's always weird things that can happen around earnings. It can be like the best news in the world, and for some reason the stock price will still go down. And for NNVC here, we're holding, you know, pretty tight, right below $9 here. Um, I'd like for this 5 minute candle to set up a little bit, and then get the break over 920 on the 5 minute for the next candle. But I guess we'll see what happens here. Got a minute and a half left on this 5 minute. Yeah, I feel you there. I had bought some calls in January, but I've sold them at this point. Um, and for not nearly as much as I could have, unfortunately. um, yeah, I mean, I definitely think AMC is going to make a little bit of a comeback once everything starts reopening again. All right, so 1 minute candle here. This is the last 1 minute candle of this 5 minute. Unfortunately, it looks like it's pushing up to 920 here. So I would have liked to have had this happen on the next 5 minute start. So it's a little bit premature, I think, this break. So I'm going to wait here at 920, and then if it pushes up through 940, then I'll buy then. But yeah, I think this push over 920 was a little bit early. I wish they had waited until the next 5 minute candle started up. Now our high of this 5 minute candle. Whoop. Oh no. My line. High of the last 5 minute candle is now 927. Yeah, it's a good call. Just watch out for it since you're already in the money, you know. Cut some of that profit if it looks like it's going the wrong way. Alright, so NNVC just started this next 5 minute candle. And I think like similar to what I was saying here, when it pushed over 920 before this new 5 minute candle, I think that was a little bit of a premature push over the high. I think if it had waited a little bit, waited until the next 5 minute candle, it would have made a much nicer move. Now if it pushes over 9 here on the 1 minute, I'll probably take a trade on this. With the expectation for this 5 minute candle to make a new high. So try to get a little early on this trade. Yeah, it's trading sideways right now, but I mean, currently trending up, and it trended up yesterday, which is nice. So hopefully we get some movement coming into today. KOPN just popped up on the scanner, but I don't think the thing is moving very much. Yeah, pretty light volume, so I'm not super interested in that. Still just watching NNVC at the moment. So we'll see if we can get a trade here as it's pushing up. It's holding under $9 right now, so it's been consolidating sideways like real tight under 940. So I would expect a nice break when we actually break out here. And now, the view up has actually moved up a pretty significant amount, so we're not as far away from the view up as we were before. So I'm not as concerned about taking a trade on this. So if we get the push over $9 here on the 1 minute, then I'll want to buy in. Let's see if we can get some volume coming in here. A little higher red volume on this candle here, on this pullback, but again, it was like a premature push over the high, so I think it's like sort of expected. So I'm not that concerned about it. Still highest volume of the day is on these big green candles back here. And the 5 minute, looking, still both 5 minute candles were green, but like just barely. So definitely looking less extended now than we were before.
Any big
We'll see if
trades
we
this
put in
morning?
another. Up.
Any big trades this morning?
Nope. Unfortunately, I was like taking a shower when like this nice move happened on NNVC, which is very unfortunate. I feel like maybe I should like take a shower earlier and like start streaming earlier, because I feel like I've seen a few stocks in the last like week or two like start coming up at like 7:15, which is like right when I'm getting ready.
Oh yeah. I guess you don't want to take a shower at 4. Like could probably.
Brutal. It's too early, dude.
Did you get up at 4 again?
Say again?
Did you get up at 4 again?
No, I didn't. Yeah, screw that, dude.
Yeah, I saw Jimmy this morning and like literally didn't do anything. I'm like, how
Yeah.
could you like up
After like
that?
yesterday, it like popped up yesterday. GameStop popped up at the end of the day. And I've woken up before just to check it in the last couple days for anyone else in the stream. But yeah, this morning I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that today. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like I'm not expecting much from it at the moment. Like if it starts going up again, I'll buy it. But it seems like it's kind of chilled out quite a bit. All right, getting a nice little pullback here in NNVC. So coming down to 850. 30 seconds on this 1 minute candle. So we just put in like 6 red 1 minute candles in a row. So as we push up and make a new high on this 1 minute, I'm probably gonna buy some shares with the expectation of this moving up. We're putting in a new 5 minute candle right now. So we push up above 865 here, buy some shares. Really? I can't believe that, man. It's so weird. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone else who's had a problem getting to it. So That's so strange. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to host it somewhere else. I'm hosting on AWS right now, but I just don't see why it shouldn't work. I've tried it from a few places now, and I mean, like even if it's blocked by firewall rules, like the chart information, like the at least like the base of the website should show up. You know, like the homepage of it. So not really popping up here like I thought we would. Thought we would get an immediate move up, um, but you know we're still looking all right. Now I think it's made like enough of a pullback, so when we first make the first like break for a 1 minute candle, I think I'll end up buying here. Um, you know we've had lighter volume all the way down on this 1 minute chart. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll try hosting it at somewhere else at some point. Just see if you could touch it. Yeah, but it's just so weird. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Like I don't see anything getting blocked. Like I don't see like any like IP trying to actually ping me or something, you know, and it like rejecting it for some reason. So it must be in like the routing, I guess. I could like try to give you the direct IP address. You can see if you could ping it. All right, leveling off a little bit here. And KOPN has been moving up a little bit as we've been watching this. But the volume is just so light, I don't think I'm willing to take a trade on it. Alright, so we're pushing up. So, try to get a few shares here. And now our stop is going to be 840. As long as we're staying above 840, we're looking good. Just got 10 shares because I bought a little high here. So, as we make a bigger break up, maybe through this previous, support level at 870, buy some more shares. But we'll see what this trend is looking like right now. The 5 minute candle currently, hasn't really had much movement. So if we do put in this next 5 minute candle and we make a break up through 870, see if I can buy a few more shares here. Yeah, just bought through the push up through 870. I got filled at 872 and 873. Still, we're good all the way down to 840 here. This kind of previous support level looks like we're holding above it decently well. And then as we push up through $9, I'll probably buy some more shares through $9. And then price target to sell off is probably this 930 region. So sell half my shares. Let's see. Let's check out your. All right. OliveGuardians.com. You did not misspell it. How you like? I don't know. Are you using like? Are you using like some weird DNS server? Like, is your I don't know, your service provider like have you routed to like their DNS that for some reason doesn't have my routes in it? Which I don't see why that would happen. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, look at this. The homie coming in here dropping this knowledge. Alright. So, new 5 minute candle just started. Um, Holding above 850 now would be good. And then the push above $9 would be an add point. And then we'll try to sell coming into $9.30. Yeah, so I guess that's on me. I guess I need to add the entry for www. I didn't even know that was a thing. Kind of still just chilling right now. Thought that this 5-minute candle when it started would make a quicker move here. So, still okay holding it down, through 850 here. But I thought that this would rebound up a little quicker. But it did make quite a large move this morning, so give it some more time to kind of level out here. We come down through 850 and we push closer to VWAP. I might try to take a trade off VWAP here. But we'll see. Maybe it'll just hold up and push above 9. Like I said, KOPN was making a move, but now is hold it back pretty much entirely as we've been talking. I see. Thank you for the information. Yeah, let me see if I could do this. While I'm doing this, it seems like stock's pulling back a little bit. Still holding above 850 right now. So, still looking okay. Alright. I added www. So, let me know if that works. I guess I've just haven't typed in www in a minute, so. Alright. So, coming down a little bit. Nothing too crazy though. Like I said, as long as we're staying above, above 850 here, even above 840 is still probably fine, but we'd like it to hold above 850. Yay, it's working. Yeah, that was my bad then. I was completely unaware of that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Alright. So, current 1-minute candle is ending in 10 seconds. So we just put in this red candle here. So now if this next 5-minute candle drops below 850, I would say I'm probably going to sell off here, because I would think that if it drops below 850 here, then we're probably going to get a move back down closer to VWAP. Right. Thank you. It seems like it's recovering a little bit. So now the previous high of this 5 minute. Oh god, wrong lines here. Previous high of this 5 minute is 890. So if we push up through 890 here, I'll buy some more shares. So it looks like we're moving. So bought some more shares. Yeah, now the target price to sell probably half here is going to be between 820 or 920 and 930. But we're looking really nice right now. So we just hit 920, pushing up. I'm gonna take off 10. I'm gonna hold the other 20 shares we have with the expectation of us to push up through 940 here. So we just hit 950. If we start holding above 975 and $10, then I might buy some more shares for the push through $10. And then try to get a quick move up through 10, and then even if it pulls back, we could sell off pretty quickly. But I'd like to move through 10 and then sell off some shares when we're above 10 if it keeps pushing up. Let's check on the daily chart here if there's what kind of resistance we're looking up through these levels. So yeah, there's some resistance. I would say not a ton of significant resistance points coming up through 10 here, but in the $12 to $13 area, quite a lot of resistance. So could make a move up towards there today, but right now just going to focus on getting up through 10. And then as we go through 10, probably taking some more profit. Yeah, I'm using the bongos to go in and out. The bongos are mapped to hotkeys. So I have my left side bongos are all buying bongos. So each pad on the top has 2 buttons on it. On the left side, I have buy on the bid, buy on the ask, and then on the right side, I have buy market for if we're trading, into the market open. And then my right bongos over here are all the sell bongos that are appropriately mapped the same way. So sell on the bid, sell on the ask, sell on the market. And then there's like a start button in the middle of the bongo that cancels all of my pending orders. So, essentially the same thing as hockey. It's just a little bit more fun. Thank you, Dark Intent. So we're still looking really good on NNVC here. Got a little bit of a 1 minute pullback right below 960. But I mean, if we're holding above 930, we're looking really good. Even maybe down to 9, as long as we're holding, we still look good. This 5 minute candle is pretty big, so I might expect some kind of pullback here. Yeah, just because this last 5 minute candle we moved from 850 all the way up to 960, so not super unexpected. If we drop down below 930, I might take off a few more shares just to capture this profit here, or below 920 rather. We did drop below 920. See if we hold up a little bit. See if we get bought back up. Does not look like we are getting bought back up. Alright, so I gotta take a few more shares here. But overall, I mean, we're still looking decent. So I took off 5 more shares coming into $9. But yeah, after the big 5 minute move that was just made, maybe expect a little pullback like this, but this pullback is getting a little bit more significant than I would like here. So if it holds down below $9, this is not good. So we'll see if this next 1 minute candle can recover some of this. So it looks like it's having a tough time, so I'm going to take up another 5 shares. So I didn't want to take the shares off up higher because I was expecting a nicer move through, but now we're completely pulling back pretty much the entirety of this move that we just made, unfortunately. So we're still holding 10 shares. If we make this move back up through 9, I can put on some more shares, but an unfortunate sell-off there coming into 8 o'clock. Yeah, so Thinkorswim, so Thinkorswim is all right. I think its hotkeys are like really lacking, definitely. Its execution time is kind of questionable, and the fact that like uh, I feel like the ticks for uh, like when the graphs update and stuff are like entirely too slow. So on more volatile stocks in the morning, um, sometimes you'll see like between two ticks on the chart, it'll move 60 cents or something. So you're not really getting that I guess like live update speed, but it is free, which is nice. I think the charts are really nice on Thinkorswim, so I really like the charts. Um, but oh yeah, and then when the market opens, if it's like a popular day when the market opens, um, it's just like you can get like 30 seconds, 45 seconds of lag for each one of your orders. So I really do not like trading into the open on Thinkorswim. Um, I also use Lightspeed um, when I am not doing my bongo trading, and Lightspeed, has faster execution times and direct access to the exchanges and stuff. So I would recommend something closer to that, or like interactive brokers or something if you care about execution speed and you think you're actually going to be trading enough where it actually matters. Otherwise, I mean, I use Thinkorswim for all my charts and stuff. So we're pushing down again. I'm selling off. Um, yeah, definitely a bigger sell-off than I would have liked here. Um, so I only bought 30 shares going up, and I bought them, as we came up here. I think the first shares that I bought were here at 860, and then as we pushed up above 890, I bought some more shares. So I ended up, averaging up, and my cost basis ended up being closer to $9. I took some shares off coming up through 930, but I was kind of being more hopeful, and my expectation was a move up to 10. So I was still holding all of my shares through this pull, hoping we would get some movement back up, which now seems to be happening. So we'll see if this holds here. Still have a minute and a half on this 5-minute candle. So we're putting in, the current 5-minute candle is now green. So we'll see if it stays like this. And if we have another move up in the next 5-minute candle, then we'll buy coming up over it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The 25K minimum is kind of a killer, definitely. It's very unfortunate. Um, but I mean, it's the same thing with like, I guess Thinkorswim or Webull. If you're using like a cash account, then you don't have to abide by that. The 25K minimum. But then you have to like wait for your cash to settle, so you can still only make like a certain amount of trades every few days, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's just there's detriments to every single one of these brokers essentially, especially when you do not have sufficient money. Um, but I mean, TD has got no commissions, which is nice. Like if you use one of those better brokers, like Lightspeed or interactive brokers or one of those, you're gonna have to pay commissions on your trades, which it's really only worth it to pay commissions on the trades if you're trading with sufficient size. Otherwise, like if you're just trying to start out and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna take like 10 shares, 25 shares, just to like try to practice trading. Um, every single time you take one of those trades on one of the quote unquote better brokers, you're gonna have to pay $1 for every single trade. So you know, um, unless you're averaging 30, 40 cents on each trade you're taking with 25 shares, you're never going to be able to break even. You're just going to get killed by the commissions. I didn't look at FSR yesterday. I do not know what that is. So while we've been talking, a few things have popped up, but nothing has really had staying power. And NNVC is was kind of unfortunate. It made a really nice move earlier today. I was really hoping for the move above 10, since at least on the daily chart, it didn't look like there was a ton of resistance. But kind of got slapped back down here. So uh, it still looks okay. Highest volume of the day was on these green candles. Someone just put in a big order there. I'm just putting an order that pushed it from 880 up to 910. But we'll see if it ends up holding. So if it holds up here on this new 5-minute high, so the high of the previous 5-minute candle was 910. So we'll at least hold on to that for the time being. If it ends up coming up and staying above 910, and then pushing back towards 920, 930, we'll take another trade on this. Otherwise, I kind of want to see some strength coming into it. Right now, you're seeing like bigger orders coming in. Oh, Dark Intent, thanks for following, man. Really appreciate it. So right now you're seeing these bigger orders coming in, and people are buying this up. Like almost certainly, this one order that pushed it up to 917 was from an individual order. So you see, one person ends up pushing it up 30 cents, and then it seems like it's just getting sold off into the last 2 times that we've seen this happen. So definitely time to be a little bit more careful on the stock, and we want to see some strength and some more volume coming into it before we take another trade on it. No, I've never used Webull. Does Webull even have like a desktop app, or is it just like phone only? I'm also, yeah, like I've never used like Robinhood either, and I think Robinhood and Webull are, I mean, from my understanding, pretty similar. Yeah, that's the same thing with like Robinhood, right? I think it's like people who are like trading from their phones. And Thinkorswim does have a mobile app, but oh, their desktop app is nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know. I've never tried it. I don't know what their execution is like, or if they're reliable at the market open. Just really the thing that kills me on Thinkorswim is that market. Like when the market opens, like if you want to order something at 9:30, you might not get filled until like 9:31, and then whatever happened to the stock in that period of time is just there's nothing you can do about it. And like even if you cancel your orders, like it still executes them. So yeah, I think the order execution is going to be a problem with any non-direct access broker, and there's just really no way around that. Because like if they're getting loaded down, they have whatever their like smart exchange system. Each one of these brokers has their own system where they route your trades to exchanges based on like what they think the most favorable price is. And if there's too much volume getting pushed through the servers, it's just like no way around it that there's going to be lag on some of the orders. So unless you have a broker that's going to do, direct routing, it's just something you're going to have to live with. Unfortunately, I've heard good things about eSignal as far as charting, but I know eSignal does cost money, and Thinkorswim is free, and I have had no problem with Thinkorswim charts. Like I think they've been really good. So I'm gonna stick with it until until I find some other reason to move away from it. And NVC here, kind of killing me. I was really expecting a good move up from it here, but seems to have fallen off. It's pushed up a couple times now. This three now false breakouts on the 1 minute chart. On the 5 minute chart, similarly, two false breakouts on the 5 minute. Yeah, so it's just like I'm gonna need to see it make a move up here and actually hold it before I'm gonna think about buying shares on it. And because I was going for that bigger move, profit is low. I only ended up taking 30 shares. When it was up at 960, my P&L was a little bit nicer. I took off some shares up there, but yeah, I was just really hoping for the nicer move. Realistically, as it pushed down here through 925, 930, I was giving it some time to try to push back up, but I probably should have taken up another half as it was coming down through here. What ended up happening was I was holding it, waiting for it to push back up. It moved a little bit back up, but then pretty much immediately dropped down to this $9 level, and then at that point I bailed with most of my shares, but then I had lost at that point 50 cents on that move. So. Oh, you think they think that the ticks are better? I would say like the Thinkorswim ticks are not spectacular. Like as long as something isn't like moving like isn't crazy volatile, when it's making like 30-cent swings or 40-cent swings, it's almost impossible to follow on Thinkorswim. Um, but on a stock like this where it's not really moving too much, and we're just like waiting for setups on it. I think the charts are perfectly good for this. Yeah, man, aren't we all waiting for GME, dude? You and me, just waiting. Yesterday made a nice move, but I was at work, so wasn't really much I could do there. Yeah. So usually, I mean, GameStop yesterday. These charts. It made a nice move coming into lunch. Which it does sometimes. This is Eastern time, so coming into lunch Eastern time, I see a lot of times it making nicer moves. And then it kind of completely pulled back the entire moved sideways for pretty much the most of the day, and then this one 5 minute candle is just like a complete monster. Went from 118 to $134. But I wasn't looking at the what do you mean by streak light speed? Oh, you mean stream? Um, sorry, a little slow brain right now. Um, I did at some point last week, like when GME was moving up, and I didn't do the bongos, and I was just streaming my Lightspeed P&L. I never stream like the level 2 data and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I never stream like the level 2, but I'll stream with like just the P&L window up. Um, but I would say I don't do that often. Like the majority of my trading is being done on TD. Um, I usually try to get a little trading in, like before my stream on Lightspeed if stuff is moving up, and then I usually end my stream, coming into the open because, like, I don't like trading, probably like between 5 and 10 minutes coming into the open, just because people start taking profit, and you can be holding a position, and all of a sudden, someone with a big position just sells it off completely and drops 50 cents, so I don't really like holding into the open or holding close to the open. And then once the open happens, TD is essentially useless for like 5 minutes. So I usually end up cutting my stream off, 9:20 or something like that. But in the future, at some point, maybe once I get better, since this is a learning process for me and you guys, hopefully, um, that I'll be streaming my Lightspeed trades into the open. But right now I'm just like doing lower share size and just seeing how everything works. Especially going into the open, it's just such like huge volatility. I tend to err on the side of caution, so it's like if I don't see nice setups, I won't end up taking a trade. So most mornings I don't end up taking a trade going into the open anyway. And NNVC here, still just moving sideways. Unfortunate thing. I would say at this point, I mean, since we've seen a lot of selling off, but it has been on very light volume. So there's always the chance that this thing will come back up and make this move back over 930. So it's pushing up now. If we see this push over 920, then I'll buy some shares. But I mean, we've seen a lot of this where it starts making a push, gets up into this between 910 and 920 area, and then immediately sells off. But see, we just tapped 920. Alright, we'll see if we push back up here. Buy green. Alright, so we just pushed above 920. I bought 10 shares as it dipped back down. We'll see if we can get the continuation here above 920. Otherwise, we'll probably cut this pretty quick. Just because, we've seen this pull back several times before. But, this was the first 5-minute candle to make a new high here. So I'm going to give this a little time. See if we can get some staying power back up above 920. Yeah, I also really don't like the level 2 on Thinkorswim. I think the level 2 is like pretty garbage. Oh, it's coming back down. I was really hoping for this 5-minute here to make a move up. That was a pretty nice move that it made above 920. Still gonna give it a second here. I think this can still push back up. Pushing down towards 9. I'm gonna take off 5 shares. So now I'm only holding 5 shares. So, essentially like no share size. See if it can hold up here. I think it's still looking all right. We just need to get some. So we got some nicer volume coming in here on this green 1-minute candle. Yeah, on this 1 minute, we had good volume. So that kind of gives me some, confidence that if we do see the buyers come back into this, it is going to push up. And we didn't see it fold over immediately. So we'll see if we can get a push back up here to 920. Yeah, I mean, I think if we end up breaking above 920 and then holding above 930 here, like whoever shorted this up further is going to have to cover their shorts. No, they don't, unfortunately. Like the only thing that you can do is like buy and sell the quantity number, which is why I said their hotkeys are definitely lacking. They also, as far as buying on the bid and buying on the ask, like they don't let you give like a through price. So it's like you either buy on the bid or you buy on the ask. So a lot of the times, especially when a stock is moving like significantly, you try to buy in the bid, and when you hit the buy in the bid, you just don't get filled because the price has already moved up past it. Whereas like on a broker like Lightspeed, there's hotkeys where you can buy on the bid, but also give yourself leeway. So it's like, uh, so this is pushing down again here. So there's like some leeway. So it's like I want to buy on the bid, but also if the price has moved up within 10 cents of me hitting the button, I'm still willing to buy at that price, which you can't do on TD, which is the part that I do not like. So a lot of the times, when you have a faster moving stock, especially, when I'm buying with like multiple buys, hitting the bongos, up, 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 I'll try to buy 30 shares or 40 shares, and then I'll only get filled for 20 shares. And then by the point that I want to buy more, it's already moved up, 20 or 30 cents. And yeah, then obviously I have a very bad cost basis, and it just kind of annoying. Still holding up here a little bit. Just double bottom to 885. So one of these directions is going to break at some point in the near future. And whichever way this breaks, it's looking like it's breaking down. So I'm going to sell these 5 shares. So it did double bottom at 875, but seems to maybe be selling through it. Well, we'll see. Yeah, so I mean, in this scenario, like it's just so choppy to trade this. Um, I probably don't want to take another trade on this. A few other things have popped up on the scanner while I've been looking at this, but again, nothing really moving too significantly, so nothing we could really take a trade on. You can see it like, has quadruple bottomed at this point at the 75. If I was more confident in this stock, I'd probably want to buy some shares off of that number. But I don't love the way that it's acting up here. Every single time it's getting bought up, it pretty much immediately sells off. So, and I said that buying into this, I was hoping for a move up past 930. The wiser decision might have been on the buy through $9 here to sell off as we came up to this level that we've seen it bump off of before. But I just wanted to hold to see if we can get a better move up. Didn't end up happening. I sold off as we came down here, but I was just trying to be confident in the stock for a nicer move, since it has made good moves today. So kind of unfortunate selling off at this point down to VWAP. And slightly higher volume on some of these red candles than we've seen previously, which is also not really a great sign. Not high volume of the day, but higher volume. And what you want to see, especially when you're getting a pullback here after a 5-minute breakthrough that's just failed, is you want to see decreasing volume on these red candles. As you can see, we're getting a little bit of increasing red volume, which is just definitely not ideal. Nice volume on the stock overall, though. I mean, a lot of shares traded today. 18 million shares volume traded. Just not all in the direction that we want. So yeah, we'll let this go. I mean, if it ends up pushing back up, this 920 level, it needs to hold above 920 if I'm going to take a trade on this, because it hit it so many times and pulled back so many times. So yeah, I just don't want to get chopped out by this stock. So if it comes back up, pushes a 920, and then holds above it, yeah, I mean, possibly coming into the open, maybe even coming into 9 o'clock if we see more volume coming into it. It is the highest gapper so far today. The majority of the move that it made, though, happened, in this, like 15-minute period here, besides this initial bump that it made. But we've seen a lot of this where it makes this initial bump and then pulls back. I would say today is the first day in a while that we've actually seen continuation after the pullback, which is kind of nice to see. I don't think any more like news came out on it or anything. NNVC. That's actually interesting. So there's a pop at. Oh, okay, yeah, at 6 in the morning. Yeah. So it's just kind of nice to see one of these lower float stocks that has popped up, pulled back more than 50% of its move, but then recovered and continued to be bought up coming into 7:30, which is not what we've seen recently. So just kind of maybe makes me hopeful for the rest of this week. We'll see though. And for anyone that's watching, if you want to check out the scanners, that I'm looking at, check out oliveguardians.com. There's low float, medium float, high float charts that'll tell you. So I think I have low float set to like anything below 20 million right now, or 25 million. So anything below a 25 million share float, that's moved up greater than 10% on the day. Medium float is, I think, between that 25 million and, I don't know, 300 million or something, and then higher float is significantly higher float stocks, which are much more difficult to move. So you probably won't see a lot of high float stocks popping up on this chart. I usually watch anything above 25% movers, so it's kind of like doesn't care what the float is. Just if it's moved above 25%, it'll be on this list. And then the active movers list, where it's anything that's moved above 8% in the last 5 minutes. So most of the time you'll see lower float stocks pop up on here that are being actively traded, and they need to have a certain level of volume because I try to mitigate the false positives I get, where sometimes things pop up on extremely low volume, and then it's just like one person buying 10,000 shares of some very low float stock, and it just ends up moving it like 10 or 15%, and we don't care about those. We want to see things that pop up, ideally on news, and then hold the price gains that they made. See, this one popped up on news, so popped up on news, lighter volume, pulled it all back, but then started making a move back up again. See, I don't know early in the day if this would have been sufficient volume to trigger. I think I only trigger on things that have traded more than 50,000 shares of volume so far today, or so far on the day. Just so I can weed out some of the stocks that have like 5,000 shares traded, moved up 15% for no reason. Yeah, it seems like some of these moves are not getting held as well. Yesterday and today I kind of seen this. So I think on the next few trades that I make, and going on with this week, I'll probably end up taking more profit off the table on the move up, and not really try to expect a move higher. Just because yesterday I feel like that got me on I think ASLN, right? And then today and NVC, similar thing. Pushed, broke through the pre-market high here of 940, went up to 960, and then just a hard sell-off in the next 3 minutes. So, yeah, as we're looking at stocks to trade today and tomorrow, on through the week, I'll think about taking more shares off as we push up. And then if it proves that it's strong and is making another move, then I'll buy more shares at the higher price. So here I bought more like coming into 9, which was fine with the expectation that we were going to push up back to the high of day. But I think as we pushed through the high of day, I probably should have taken off, another half of the shares that I was holding, and then I could have let the whatever 1/4 of the shares that I was holding ride and see how it worked up here, and then kind of hold a tighter stop just because. Yeah, as we broke back down almost immediately through 9:30 here, it definitely was not a good sign. Yeah, just kind of have to, revise through the week based on what you're seeing, what's going on in the market here. What we got? Just popped up DGLY. 100,000 shares of volume. Moved up, actually not that much percent, only 10%. Let's see. Awarded some multi-year contract for some stuff that they sell. So not anything like super crazy. We'll at least keep an eye on it. I'll keep it on another chart. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, there's not really too much we're watching. Let's check out if GameStop's moving at all. GameStop not really doing anything, and NVC, pulling back even further. So if we see this come back up through VWAP now, even so, like I'm kind of, like I said with this stock, we saw 5-minute false breakout, 5-minute false breakout, 5-minute false breakout, false breakout. So it's just like, 4. All right, see you later, man. There's a fly. So yeah, we had like 3 or 4 5-minute false breakouts over the course of 30 minutes. So definitely something to be aware of. This is not like the strength that we would want to see in a stock, and I don't think at this point, there's any guarantee if we're pushing up through VWAP that we're going to hold that move. So I would need to see a lot more volume coming in to be comfortable taking a trade on that. And we got RWLK just popped up. Yeah, it's not really moving. All these ones that are popping up right now are kind of higher float stocks. Not really. Yeah, not really something that we want to trade this morning. Just because we're looking for these lower float stocks that are going to make larger moves. But you do kind of gotta be careful because they make large moves in both directions. So always gotta cover yourself. Yeah, pretty much nothing going on. Quite sad. I wish NNVC had held up. It was looking really good for a minute there. Yeah, I missed this nice trade here on this 5-minute. Very unfortunate. Five-minute and on the 1-minute. Came down pretty hard. Came back up here closer to 7 o'clock. Pulled back. And this break over here. So we had the 5-minute push back up. A little bit of a pullback. And then as it broke through VWAP again, it's just like pretty much a straight line all the way up. Almost no selling. Really nice. So could have bought at 650 pushing up through here. And then bought again, it's this push up through 7 through the previous high of the 5-minute candle. Yeah, it's just looking really, really nice. And unfortunately we missed it. Very sad. What are you gonna do? Hopefully we get another stock today that will trade just as well. But we just passed 8:30 and nothing really popped up on news, so I would say we're probably going to be waiting until like 8:45 or closer to 9 before anything really starts moving up again. Like I said on NVC, I mean, I'm just not super psyched on taking a trade on this, even though it looks like it's coming back up a little bit here. It's just yeah, I just don't see it making a nice move back up to these highs. I think as it pushes up through VWAP, it's going to be real choppy. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I wouldn't take a trade on it until it came back up closer to 920 because this is really the region where it's like a lot of indecision, a lot of selling coming into it. Yeah, gentlemen, you should try the www.oliveguardians.com now, and it should work. Yeah, dude, I completely didn't know that. That's crazy. Never really it's like set up DNS records previous to this or for anything that actually mattered that anyone else would use. So learn something new every day. GameStop still just chilling. Check out AMC. AMC moving sideways. What's Palantir been up to? Yeah, I'm really surprised with Palantir. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the stock's got a lot of hype, and also it seems like a decent company. You know, you always hear about them getting contracts for all this stuff from the government. Yeah, I agree with you there, but I just find it so weird that like all of these other like meme stocks are just going crazy. And this thing, I mean, it did make a really nice move up to 45 here, but I mean, it just hasn't held it at all. I just find that so weird. I'd think about trading this like maybe if it came back up through 30 because like as it passed through 30, I mean it pretty much like made a straight line up to 45 and at the very least like the next resistance level is between 38 and 40. So, yeah, that Wall Street bet pumped. I feel you there. Yeah, it does seem like a a nice one to hold for a while though. What else we got? Any other stocks doing well recently? Yeah, I definitely I get you there, gentlemen. I really don't like holding anything for longer than like an hour. The other stuff that's moved up today has just been trash. This is such a weird one, man. In 1 minute, it opened at 4:03, I guess. News come out at 4:03. Actually, news didn't come out on this. Oh, actually, yeah. Why did it pop up so much at 4? Guess someone had some insider info. Yeah. Well, it popped up at 4 to $20, which is absolutely nuts. And like 1,000 shares of volume, and then it immediately pulled it all back. It's like the strangest chart. And then it had another little bump here, but kind of just did absolutely nothing all day. JCS. Another one made a really big move. When I see things like this, I'm like, maybe I should short stuff. Because so many times you see these huge moves, and then it's just like immediately falls off. You know, it's just so common. So we got SSKN. I was looking at SSKN earlier today a little bit.
Does Thinkorswim let you short pre-market?
One sec. I have to turn you up. You asked if something can short pre-market. What's up?
Does Thinkorswim allow you to short pre-market? Or do you have to
As
do it on like
long as the shares are easy to borrow. But I
okay.
mean, like, I feel like 99% of stocks you can't borrow on Thinkorswim because
Really?
it's easy to borrow. So like up here on Thinkorswim, oh, you actually have the wrong window up. All right, so up here on Thinkorswim, you see it says like HTB.
It's lag. I mean, there's like a 30-second lag on the stream, so I can't
Oh
see it.
yeah,
But
yeah. Well, my window is about to change. So there's like some letters up here that tell you whether or not it's easy to borrow or hard to borrow.
oh, I see.
So like 99% of stocks on Thinkorswim say hard to borrow, so they never let you short it.
Really,
E-
that's weird.
yeah, every once in a while you'll see something that says easy to borrow, and then you can short it with like, no additional risk as long as you're not holding it overnight. Like you can just like short it and they're okay with it.
Also, I saw something on Twitch that was like there's like a low latency mode. Is that enabled for you,
I
or is
think
that like
mine is enabled. Yeah.
okay?
I am on the lowest latency you can have.
It's not a lot of latency.
I know. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my low latency mode is enabled. I've seen that checkbox too when I was looking through my stuff.
Yeah, they said it's enabled by default, but I just wanted to double check. I know usually streams about like 30-second lag from
I think that
like
is the low
audio.
latency mode.
Yeah. Really? Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Just is the way it is. No getting around it. Let's see here. I can bring it up on Twitch. My Twitch. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have low latency mode enabled, so not really much to be done there. uh, NNVC. Yeah, so I mean, not a ton going on right now. We're just gonna have to wait to see if anything pops up. Fairly uneventful at the moment. Yeah, man, maybe I should start streaming at 7 instead of 7:30. I've seen a few stocks pop up between 7 and 7:30. Then I always miss them, and I'm really sad. I can start getting ready at like 6:45, shower and everything, and then stream at 7. NNVC came up closer to VWAP, sold off. Sort of expected. SSKN, I was looking at this earlier. Completely sold off. Very unfortunate. NUV. I haven't looked at this one yet today. I assume this is the same story. Also, very low price stock, so. I don't really love to trade anything that's like under $2. Not really, I don't know. I feel like you just have to take so many shares for it to be worth it. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's alright because I feel like these lower price stocks move in a much more, I don't know, standard way. Um, they have less volatility, but I don't know. Could just be in my mind because a $1 stock moving 2 cents is like 2% move, and that just seems like less to me because it's only a 2 cent move, but it's like the same percentage wise. Yeah, so coming in 8:45. See if anything pops up on the scanners here. Uh, Nothing popping up at 8:30, which is unfortunate. Well, a few things popped up, but didn't really move very much at all. So hopefully 8:45, maybe we'll get something popping up on news. Otherwise, I mean, still just watching NNVC since it seems like it's the most promising stock at the moment, even though it completely, you know, completely died here. Made this nice move up to 9, really nice move up to 960 here, and then just pulled it all back, and then just pulled down below view up. So we need to see a lot more volume coming into this for us to want to buy it. But it is the thing that's that's highest gap around the day, and has held the most of its move on the pullback, as opposed to some of these other ones that we've been looking at. So it's really the one to be watching. And then we're just going to keep cycling through some of these other stocks like GME and AMC and stuff, just to see, since you never really know when these ones are going to start making moves. But everything seems to kind of just be trading sideways this morning. So not much to be done about that. And we took one trade on NNVC for this move here. Yeah, as we're pushing up through 860, held through here, held through this pullback, bought pushing up through $9 here. Took off a few shares in this 930 area, hoping for this move up through 10, and then we ended up, selling off the rest of the shares as it came back down to 9. So I was being more confident in the stock since it made such a nice move this morning. So I ended up losing a lot of the profits on the way back down, but I'll keep that in mind for stocks that we trade later this week, like as we go on. It seems like the stocks, or some of the stocks that have been popping up, are making nice moves, but once we get closer to the high of days and we try to make a break through it for like a second move, kind of been a lot of indecision, a lot of selling off. I mean, like you can even see it coming, coming through here, like I was saying before. I'll just remove all these lines here on the 5-minute. But we had a false 5-minute breakout as we pushed up again, and it pushed up through 960. Another false 5-minute breakout, just pulled back like half the candle after the move. This 5-minute candle, pushed to a new high as well. Also pulled it back. Same thing with this one. So a lot of indecision, a lot of 5-minute false breakouts, which is definitely not what you want to see on a stock that should be moving strongly upwards right after it made a break through the high of day. It's just really unfortunate on this. I was really hoping for a nicer move because it didn't look like there was much resistance on the daily chart up through 9 all the way to about like 1025. And then past that there was not a lot of resistance until like $12 on the daily chart. So I was really hoping for this move, pushing through 960 up through 10, and then I was going to take off some of my position up through $10. But it doesn't always work the way you want it to. And for all the new people in chat, if you want to follow along with me, you can go to oliveguardians.com. Check out the scanners here. Click on the menu. You can see low float, medium float, and high float stocks that have moved up more than 10%. I'm pretty much always actively watching anything that's moved above 25%. So this will just give you, the highest gappers on the day, regardless of float. And then the active movers, which is anything that's moved more than 8% in the last 5 minutes, and also has greater than 50,000 shares in volume on the day. So tries to filter out some of those stocks that move on very light volume, and kind of tries to tell you in a more like real time way what is being actively traded, so you can immediately see what's popping up on the movers list and then try to take some trades on it. So this is always what I'm watching and where I get all of the stocks that I trade on the day from. So oliveguardians.com, check it out. If you guys got any critiques on it, the GUI, the charts, the criteria, if you want me to make other scanners with other criteria, it can be done. So drop me a message if you have any questions about it or anything. And unfortunately, 8:45 has come and passed with no stocks moving up on news. So we're just gonna have to wait till closer to 9 o'clock, see if we can get any movement on anything here. Some signs of life in NNVC, but still not looking spectacular. You know, it's coming up through VWAP, but I would like to see it come up through 9 and push through this 920 area, which is where we've seen a lot of resistance on here. So I would probably wait until there to take a trade on it. I do not have a Discord. We can make one at some point if you want. I feel like I don't have quite the community yet to require a Discord being made. But I'll probably slap one together at some point and post it in the old bio. Yeah, I also I've been getting some feedback from a few guys that I know and stuff about things that I can change in the scanners. So I'll probably end up working on that in the coming weeks. Try to get some more, some more helpful scanners up there. Um, and then maybe at some point have like indicators of, decent times to think about buying at some of these levels. But I think that's a little far down the road. I at some point, like like a month or two ago, I was trying to write a trade bot, which is like kind of like what the scanners spawned out of, so that my trade bot knew what to actively trade. And it was a trade bot that wasn't like trading on market inefficiencies. It was essentially trying to. Yeah, I can shrink the Stonks Man image if you want. Um, yeah, so I was writing the trade bot that it's essentially like trying to mimic like human trading, but just have like a very rigid set of rules so that you wouldn't like the bot obviously wouldn't be affected by any emotional um, influence. So yeah, it wasn't like what traditionally would be considered like an algorithmic trading bot, which is more of like a market inefficiencies thing, mean reversion type of scenario. Um, but it failed miserably. So I'll probably start trying to work on it again now that I've gotten some more experience trading myself and see if I can make it any better. And then maybe at some point, if the indicators uh, get to a certain point, I'll slap them up on the website. Um, oh, that's interesting. uh, yeah, I mean, I guess it's like I assume there's probably a bunch of places that do that, just do like parse, like social media sentiment bot essentially. But I feel like now more than ever it's relevant just because Wall Street Bets has been like pumping and dumping so many things. So I think more people just generally are talking about stocks. So I could see it. I was talking about doing something like that at some point, but um, I just never actually did. Yeah, I don't know about the like AI portion of it. Um, I feel like a lot of that like social media sentiment can be done without having like like neural nets involved, stuff like that. Um, but whatever. It's the buzzword of the year. Just slap AI on everything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I feel like AI is making trades is just like a recipe for disaster. I feel like very infrequently does that actually work. Um, like from what I can tell online, a lot of the trading bots or algorithmic trading platforms or whatever that actually work, like all work on very low latency trading and trading like inefficiencies in the market that are like proven to be statistically significant by people who are much better at math than I am. Yeah, like trading solely on sentiment and like trying to find indicators generally doesn't work from what I can see. At least when you try to program it into a bot. Yeah, I believe there's people out there doing it. I think also right now is I feel like in the last like 2 months, especially crypto, you literally could have had a bot that just at the beginning of every morning bought anything and then sold it at night, and it would probably still be extremely positive. You know what I'm saying? like the true test of the bot is going to be when the crypto market isn't popping off. So I want to see these people like post their P&L, when Bitcoin ends up, reverting 25% of its move and everything starts dropping again. Is there any way to short Bitcoin right now? I guess there's like crypto ETFs. Oh, nice. That's sick. Unfortunately, I was not holding anything. I think I have like $300 or $400 in Bitcoin sitting somewhere on like Binance. Um, but yeah, it's definitely not really holding too much crypto, which is quite unfortunate because it did go crazy. So would be nice to have a little bit of that. Ah, yep, nice. Oh, all right, getting closer to 9 o'clock here. Hopefully, we see some action. Yeah, if we don't see anything really moving coming into like 9, 10, I'll probably just end the stream early since not really, not really too much going on right now. But we'll see here. We'll give it some time. Hopefully 9 o'clock we have some news. Um, we get something to pop up. NNVC still making the valiant struggle back up to where it was, holding above VWAP. So as we pushed up through VWAP here on the 1 minute chart, so came up to VWAP, pulled back, pushed up through VWAP, came back down to it, retest a VWAP here, and then as it pushed back up, like this might have been a good place to buy, with the expectation that it will hold above VWAP since, it at least held above it, it retested and held above it once. So this could signal the potential move back up towards $9. But like I said, I'm not really super confident about this stock here, so I'm probably gonna let the opportunity pass unless this starts making a move back up through 920 here. YSG just popped up on the scanners, but it's a fairly high float stock and isn't really moving too much, so keep an eye on it, but doesn't seem like something that's gonna be traded this morning. We have 40 seconds till 9 o'clock. You can see here, like, starting close to 850, we're seeing increasing volume coming in on NNVC. So we'll see what the market decides to do at 9 o'clock with it. Alright. So now it's time to keep an eye on the scanners. About to hit 9 o'clock. We'll see if anything pops up with news here. NNVC pushing up back towards $9. Nothing popping up on the scanners yet. I feel like also that's like a good thing for bots. If you're like, rip, dude. I'm sure there's like a million people out there with like that same story for Bitcoin where it's like I bought something for a Bitcoin when it was worth $10 and now it's worth $40,000. That's awesome. Take him out, man. Get that money. Oh yeah, first minute passed after 9 here, and nothing hitting the scanners. And then VC still making this push up here, just tapped off $9. And now pulling back a little bit, so yeah, not anything too great happening at the moment. Yeah, it's one of those mornings where, had to catch that one nice move here on NNVC. Um, this was really the opportunity for the morning here. So it just goes to show. I mean, you got to be if you want to trade stocks, you have to be on top of your game when you're watching this stuff because you could have one opportunity for the day, and if you're not in it at the right time, it's just you just kind of have to sit here and watch stocks move sideways for an hour and a half. Kind of like fishing, I feel like. Where it's just like you just have to sit there forever, forever and ever and ever. I guess you can be less attentive when you're fishing. Um, when you're looking at stock charts, I mean, you could miss a move if you look away for like 15 or 20 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that like need to want to see many things like that's supposed to be somewhat alleviated by the charts, right? It's like where it's like you figure yeah, it's like you figure out what criteria the moves are making that you're making trades on and then you make the scanner so that you don't have to like have 6,000 charts up anymore. You just have your scanner and it'll tell you when the setups that you like come along. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try to uh, put some more charts into the scanner. Where because I know David, who's on Discord with me right now, or I don't know if he's here right now, but he said that he wanted to try to
Long
put in,
theory.
you know, scanner for if things are like have popped up and then kind of had like some sideways consolidation or like a traditional bull flag or something that's like, you know, fairly easy to tell that it's made a pullback and then it's breaking through that previous high. So at some point, I'm probably going to try to make charts to do something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I get you, gentlemen.
Yeah, also like any sort of like defined trend line, like really strong support trend line, is pretty easy to identify, at least mathematically. So like that could be used,
Yeah.
very useful at least.
Yeah. I agree. So I'm going to try to work on that probably throughout this month. Try to get some more charts on here with some better information. Then I'll probably try to pick up development on my trade bot again now that I have some more experience under my belt. See if I can make the trade bot not completely useless. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, I have 3 monitors right now, and I feel like my monitors are like super overloaded. I think I need a fourth one. Whoa, what the hell just popped up here? Why did JCS do this? What the hell? Okay, well, it looks like someone just bought like a massive amount of this. Like, it came up on news earlier today, but I don't know why it spikes just now. Um, So we'll keep an eye on this, but like when the news came out at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, like I don't know if this is gonna hold this move. Like this seems like someone bought a significant amount of this stock. I don't know for whatever reason they did, and maybe like some other bots bought it up. But this seems like a weird time for this stock to make a move, especially because no news came out on it at 9. Nice. Yeah, I mean this seems like really weird price action for something that came out with news 2 hours ago. Like I think this is just like one person here probably bought like 100,000 shares on this candle. Like this candle is almost exactly like 100,000 shares. So I have a feeling someone just bought like 100,000 shares of this, and then a whole bunch of bots just jumped on it. But I mean, we'll see if it moves up. I mean, it's like ultra extended right now. Obviously, it just made a move from $7 to $15. So I mean, I'd like to see it. I don't even know what I'd like to see here. um, I feel like the risk on this is huge because the news came out 2 hours ago. Um, so yeah, I'm probably not gonna take a trade on this. But if someone was in this, then good for them, dude. Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. But you do always have to, even though this is like very out of the ordinary and it's like there's no reason why it should have been bought up there. If it keeps going up, you got to buy it. Like you got to take the opportunities that you're given. Yeah, it jumped you know, 80% in about 30 seconds. Pretty good. 100% in like 30 seconds. It's nuts. I mean, now that this one has popped up a little bit, maybe this will be decent to watch into the open. If it holds up here above VWAP at least. But I don't think I'd take a trade on this coming into the open, but maybe at the open if people start buying it up again. Um, be worth it to try to take a trade on it. CHFS, CHFS, sleeper man, had like no volume, but it's actually coming up on decent volume right now. So CHFS, and then yes, yes. Yeah, so CHFS, I checked this out a couple times this morning, but it was trading on such light volume that I wasn't willing to take a trade on it. You see something trading like when entire 5 minute candles are like 45,000 shares and it lost, $1.50 on it. It's just not worth it for me to take a trade on those. Um, you might be able to make a nice profit on it because the volatility both down and up is very high, but it's just like the chances of it going up or you being able to hold through a dip when you're unsure if it's a dip or it's just going to be the stock going down for the rest of the day, it's just not worth it. I like to take the more sure things. I would rather be right and with a high probability and make a little amount of money than just take random chances on these stocks that have popped up with absolutely no volume and might just like immediately fall back down again. You are right, gentlemen. You know, YOLO. That's what GameStop's for. You know, if I want to YOLO my money, just buy some GameStop. That's like the ultimate upside. Thing was at $500 4 weeks ago. Everything seemed to have chilled out though here. Yeah, JCS, kind of pulling back here. Just like I was gonna say, just like triple bottomed, but then the bottom fell out. So pushing down below view up now. CHFS also coming back down. So yeah, I mean, it just seems like everything's pulling back right now. Let's check out NNVC. NNVC was making a nice move. I mean, it tried really hard to get back up to this $9 level. But this is like kind of what I was saying before, where it's like it's just every time it gets bought up, it seems like it's buying up slower and then falling faster. So I'm just definitely not willing to take a trade on that. Unfortunate. I was hoping it could hold up a little better. But yeah, I mean, I'll watch NNVC coming into the open because there is the possibility that it will make a move back up. I'll also watch JCS coming into the open. I mean, but besides those two, there's honestly not really a whole lot going on. So yeah, kind of a slow morning. A little bit slow. Yeah, I think tomorrow I'm gonna try to get ready a little earlier, and if I see some stuff coming up, between 7 and 7:30, maybe I'll start streaming a little earlier if things are moving. But I'll at least be ready to take a trade on it since I feel like a couple times this week, I would wait until 7, or the couple times in the last few weeks where I would like wait until 7, see like volume come in at 7, but like not really do too much. It's kind of just moving sideways. Um, like similar to what we see here, where like 7 o'clock hit, pushed up into 7, some volume coming in at 7, where it looked like it was going to make a push, sold off a little bit, and then I waited, and I was like, it's just kind of consolidating underneath VWAP. Then I'm like, all right, I'll go get ready, and then it just starts moving between 7:15 and 7:30, and that has happened a few times in the last 2 weeks. So now that we see this trend, maybe I'll try to be ready a little bit earlier tomorrow so I can capitalize on some of those moves if it does happen again. But yeah, 9:13 now, and there's not too much going on, so probably just gonna end the stream here. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be watching NNVC and JCS into the open, and then yeah, I might start a little early tomorrow depending on how the market's looking. So, uh, yeah, see you tomorrow, man. Hope your trade on AMC goes well. Uh, yeah, good luck with everything. Hope everyone has a good day. See you guys later.